And we are live. Welcome back, alchemists. This is Abundance Thursdays with myself, Gualter Amarelo, and the great Vinney Smile Chopra from his backyard in the Black Hills of California. Vinney, how are you doing today, brother?
I'm doing amazing, brother. Amazing. When I got up this morning at 4 o'clock, 4:10 maybe, something like that, and I do my morning routine, I wanted to say to you, everybody, it's so important to pay gratitude. Gratitude to everybody around you, above you, who brought you into this world. And that's what I was thinking today, and really thanking my grandparents, my parents, and then, my wife and my family. It's so important to pay gratitude. And then my mentors, so many mentors who have really shaped my life.
So, Vinney Chopra, you're the mentor to many people. So, there's many people who are grateful for you and your existence. 72 years young, we just celebrated your birthday. So
Yeah.
the day of your birth back in India, and you moved all the way over here, $7 later, then into the $1.3 billion of real estate, $1.6 billion worth of real estate, raising $280 million. It's been a long
Yes.
journey, and you're still just getting started. This is still just the beginning. You got new ventures coming in. We're going to talk a little bit about some of those today. And the principle for everybody who is unfamiliar with what we do here, we have 52 principles, and me and Vinny, we break them
Mhm.
down before going to the 52 wealth principles on Saturdays. So Vinny,
Yeah.
this principle is 43. It is systemizing your business so it grows without you, so you can scale and get yourself out of the business. Most entrepreneurs get into business because they think that's going to be less work than where they were originally. And then they get in, they realize, oh my God, like my boss before was really nice. Now the boss I have today makes me work 80 hours, 120 hours. Sometimes they don't pay me. So, so
When we
entrepreneurship,
start
something
the
you've been
business,
doing for 50 years, Vinny. You've been an entrepreneur for 50
yes, almost 50 years, brother. I mean, I was there in Bombay and also then side hustle. And then I came here for my MBA in marketing. Some people might know it's $7. And, the quest was to be a better person, to be able to have this land of opportunities, pay back and pay forward to everybody around me so that, when you give so much out, like Zig Ziglar says, more comes in your life. And I really believe in that principle. I really do. So you're right. The thing is, as an entrepreneur, solopreneur, or entrepreneur with so many people around you and in your organizations and starting up more businesses, one thing which I really remember, Built to Last, a book by Dave Collins, I think, I read the magic of using and instead of or if you replace, I can only do this and this or this or this or this or that, you'll be limited in your potential, in your abundance, what you can do. You'll be in shackles, you'll be in chains, all there. If you replace that or with and, I can do this, I can also do that, and I can also do that, and I can also do that, and I can also do this. Some people may disagree with me, but the thing is, once you set up your mind that you can do more than one or two things, it's possible by really utilizing this principle we're going to talk about today.
So, Vinny, in business, it is possible to not just have a machine that you hate. It is actually possible to enjoy your business. I think that you've gotten to a point where your positivity has brought you profitability. And a lot of
Yes.
entrepreneurs currently think that the hard work alone is going to get them free because we've heard all of these people say hard work, hard work, hard work. Although you
Mhm.
and I have both talked about it is hard work, it's absolutely necessary. There are actually steps and actually systems that should be built inside of a business. I don't want to shit on anybody, but there are steps that should be built inside a business so that you can step away from the business. So this principle, systemize your business so it works without you, doesn't mean that you don't still own the business, doesn't mean you're not still responsible, but it does mean that with great systems, you
Mhm.
could step back from the business and it would actually run probably better without the entrepreneur in the business every day.
I'm telling you, you hit the nail on the head. The CEOs, the solopreneurs or entrepreneurs should get out of the way. Get out of the way. I know so many people who can do the kind of things that I hate to do much better than me. So why not to give that baton in their hand, set up a system, automated system of meeting with them, accountabilities then transferred from my time commitment and actions to their time commitment and actions. So the key thing for a solopreneur or entrepreneur is to pass on the responsibility and the torch to the people who can do that job better.
And now we're jumping into a whole topic that people make mistakes with. There's a difference between delegating and abdicating, right? So, delegation would be where you actually hand something to somebody and you stay in touch with them, you coach them, you guide them, like you said, you're giving them these
Yes.
scheduled times where you check base, check in with them.
Hmm.
And then there's
Hmm.
abdication, which is not what we do, but well, I've made mistakes. We've done it all in the past. But abdication is where you just give it to somebody and you walk away, and usually that leads to disappointment and frustration in the business. So, uh,
Totally, totally. And we zap them. Hold on. This is a very big subject. See, when we don't train the people, we don't make their job easier, we don't really give them every tool possible for them to do their job right, who is to be blamed? We are.
we
We
are.
should be blamed because we pass on the torch without giving proper, hiring the right person is the big thing. Hold on. That's even before even we get this responsibility traverse to them is the big thing is to hire the right person who's motivated, who's got can do factors and will do factors. We talk about that always, right? But then you find out if they can handle that. Can they stretch? Can they research? Can they understand? Can they see what the SOPs are, standard operating procedures? Can they follow those? And then you give it to them and then you set up the accountability. But don't zap them. Don't zap them because you did not train them right. And then you say, hey, you're not doing it. What's going on with you? And you don't even talk to them for many weeks. And then you zap them.
I was just taking the notes that you sent me and dropping them into the comments on the post I made on Facebook in Alchemist Nation because this there's 9 steps that you sent over that make actually a lot of sense, and we kind of just skipped over a few of them really quickly. So I want to go back, and this is for the entrepreneurs who are like, I need a systematic process. So
Yeah.
step one, you put into how the company runs, identifying key processes.
Mhm.
What are the main 3 key processes that an entrepreneur has, like the CEO, the top of the company? If it's a company of one person, what are the 3 processes they have to look at in order to know the company's doing well or if it's not doing well?
Totally, totally. I think the biggest thing is your vision. How clear are you in your vision of accomplishing certain goals? Then from there, it goes into financial projections and making sure that everybody in your team, when you hire the right team, that's the other process. Now, that second process is to hire the right people, and then you change that, give that, transform that vision into their motivation and how they will get compensated and bonuses and everything. So it's first the vision, the plan that what you want to accomplish. Second is to hire the right people. And then the third is to really give them everything possible, and then accountability. You asked me for three. So accountability is huge. Revenues, sales are the engine of any business. If people really want to do well in any business, they got to understand the numbers. They need to understand the ratios. It's the calling ratio, the demo ratio, the presentation ratios, and then making sure that the size of the product is it small, medium, large product. All those things follow into that. But the key thing is if no revenues, there is no sales, there is no, and expenses amount to so much. And unless there is profitability, which is the end result of all these three things, you cannot survive.
So to recap some of that, it's identify the key process, which is profitability, it's your operations, it's your finances. The second thing you said is define or desired outcomes. So this would be a profitable company that also creates impact. Third thing you sent me was map and document the process. And then the fourth one is assign roles. Fifth one is determine timing and resources. But I want to go back to this map and document the process because I know this is where most entrepreneurs drop off. And maybe it's just
Yes.
me and all the people I've coached, but it seems like they get the vision, they know what they want to do. And the vision's usually very blurry, it's not very clear. They know what they want to do,
Mhm.
they get their goals set. Again, usually the goals are very blurry, even though we do the SMART system, every entrepreneur knows what
Mhm.
SMART goals are. They
Mhm.
still let's say they get past the blurriness of those and they get to super clarity. Mapping and documenting seems to be the bane of the existence of the entrepreneur. They don't want to, it's like they're afraid to sit down and document, this is what I do step by step by step. Is there a way that you found, because I know you automatically just go straight to hire the right people. It seems like every time we have the conversation, you're like, just go to the right people. And how does an entrepreneur hire the right people without documenting the process? Or is there a person you hire who documents the process?
No, good point. Very
Or do
good
the right
point.
people document the process? Because maybe that's
See,
maybe
the
that's the step.
the key thing is we hire wrong people because we don't know ourselves what we want them to do. So the job description and the qualifying questions and the history of the candidate, their success, because you cannot change overnight. You cannot. Habits are formed over time. So by asking behavioral questions and asking them where they have been, it's the right thing to really not hire the first person ever, ever, ever. You got to seek out several people and then you contemplate and look at where their will do factors will be, what their can do factors, what kind of degrees they have, what kind of accomplishments they have. Because if they have been successful before, there is probability they'll be successful here too,
I like
and
that. And I'm going to say that for the entrepreneur who's having this problem with the mapping and the documenting, I've found, like Whitney's talking about, I found if you get somebody who already does this somewhere else, they'll tend
yes,
to document for you and they'll bring in a
yes.
system. But you have to be clear with them up front that you do not have a system, and that's part of what they're going to have to build. And you'll usually attract a much better quality person because now they own the system from day one.
I love that, what you just said, brother. And that's what I'm doing in establishing my whole new company in Arizona. We hired a great manager, operator, 18 plus years of experience, who has been managing RALs, residential assisted livings, for 27 years. Well, 13, 14 years for sure, 18 years, but she's been in Arizona 27 years. Compassionate and everything, and we are starting from scratch. I don't have even the policies and manuals or anything. We are buying them. I love investing money where I don't have to do the thing. I'll pay $1,000 to buy this 500 pages document, which it will cost me time and money to produce that. So we are getting that. We got all the applications, we got everything, we got the logos. So we are building the system from ground up.
So you're building the system from ground up and also leveraging pre-existing systems, slapping your
Yes,
logos on them, getting the
you
brands.
got it. You
So entrepreneurs, so you know, unless your business is brand new, there's never been an entrepreneur before with a business like this, which I doubt anybody on this call is operating a brand new type of business. If
not
you're
at
in real
all.
estate, right? It's been
Every kind of
done. It's
business.
been
I
documented.
would say every business that you think they exceed, maybe 0.5% of the whole equation is where it's brand new, brand new, brand new. I always feel, find your competition, find the people who are doing good, and then study them. And then you make your own mountain. Don't
I
climb their mountain, but you make your own, build the brand and everything, and make even the flyers better. And I would love to show. Oh my gosh, my daughter Monica designed some flyers. Oh, out of this world. And she's so good in Canva, and she's, like managing. She was managing $675 million of our assets when we, had that many. Now we have sold so many, but she's so creative, right? So anyway, but the big thing is you got to document, document, document. You got to have all the systems in place so that, you know, God forbid something happens to the person that you hired, you want to make sure somebody can step into their shoes. In our case, it's different in the sense we got only 2 homes now. We want 10 homes in the next 1 year, let's say. So I'm designing the systems, automations, and everything from scratch so that we could duplicate it like a clockwork into second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, tenth.
And so as we were talking, so Vinny's been working on this for a while now. He's built many businesses, he's invested in 30 businesses at the moment. And number five is determine timing and resources, which we just talked about.
Yeah.
You got to be able to get into a scenario quickly and then have the resources to develop it. So the systems, the roles, the people, the mapping out of the systems leads into timing and resources. So
Yes.
how much time a task is allocated in the beginning is probably more than it should because you're building up systems and all of this. But eventually you get to levels of economies where you actually get economies of scale and you vertically integrate. How do you know which phase you're in, and then how do you make that shift?
Hold on. As we are starting it, brother, we are meeting every day. Every day as a CEO of this business, I need to set the stage and the vision where we are going. I need to be in the meetings. I need to make sure that every small thing, big thing, accounting side, automation side, prescription side, marketing side, manual, all these things. And not only that, furnishing of these homes and making sure we get the right things. And, we got the televisions and so all that, and now the cables and all these things. So small, small, minute details have to be taken care of. I am buck stops with me, you know. So I am getting involved every day for maybe hour, 2 hours. But that's guess what? Once I build it, I won't be even there.
So it's heavy work in the beginning for the entrepreneur, right? So determine the times, the resources.
Yeah.
You in the beginning set a lot of the tone, and then people follow that afterwards. So number six, we have implement automation. This is that
Yeah.
part where you get to separate and step away. How do you know
Yes.
something is good enough to start implementing automation? Because we've seen, I've gone and done automations very early in my career and very early in the business and noticed the automations were automating the wrong thing. So how do you know it's time to step back and that you got something good enough to start automating it?
Oh, I'm so glad you're asking me this question. I'm the kind of guy I want the P&Ls at the fingertips, profit and loss statement. I want the bank statements all synchronized, everything, yeah, in the system. I want the rent roll at the spec of any 24 hours. I need to know how each of the RAL is doing. And you know what? We are using the system Rent Manager. We decided last week we've been using Rent Manager, a property management system, amazing system for the last 17 years. Then we went to Yardi and RealPage and Appfolio. I mean, very, very big, big, expensive systems. But RALs are only 10 rooms. That's all. So 10 rooms means room one, room two, room three, room four, room five. And then you're able to do all the invoicing and everything through there. You could do all the revenues coming in, expenses going out. So this is what I believe automation is the best way. Our accounting department is getting synchronized with the operations side, and it's going to be clockwork. It's going to be so easy to manage. People sometimes look at everything in a big gorilla. In my thinking, engineering mind, I like to simplify. I just said, you know what? I'm going to just get the systems that make sense. I'm going to tailor them. I'm going to devise new systems. I mean, I had to sell that system to my team. I said, rent manager. She said, Vinny, that's for apartments. I said, guess what? RAL is an apartment with 10 rooms.
This is perfect. So you implement technology as a part of the automation system, and then property management software is a big part of that. And I love that you named a whole bunch of the property management softwares that we've used in the past as
Yes.
well. So
Hmm.
number seven is set standards and metrics. Number eight is test and revise the systems. And then number nine is foster a culture of continuous improvement. So this is
Oh,
all going back and forth and checking and trial and error and systemizing things, which the
yes.
engineering mind of
Yes.
yours, obviously you spend a lot of time going back and forth in that. What are some of the standards or metrics that you look for early in the business? And then as it develops and grows, how does that change where you're
Oh,
going back
my.
and revising?
I'm so glad you're saying that. I was able to spend 1.5 hour with our manager, and I said, you know what? Let's go through the P&L budget. So I did the whole thinking along with her and looked at the expenses and what it will be for having only two seniors in RAL. You can get 10 right away. So as we get the license right away in 2 weeks or so, the two seniors, where are they going to come from? Are we doing marketing? When they come in, how many caregivers do we need? Can one caregiver take care of that plus the manager? Then grocery bills and this and utilities and mortgage and all. So we were able to look at the whole P&L. See, the thing is, business will be only good as good you are with the numbers. Now she saw what I was doing. So she was able to bring down the payroll down for me. Oh, wow. Wow. Now she was a team player. She saw that I'm going to lose in first month this much money, $23,000 or something, you know. Then second month, four people in the RAL. She says, you know what? I'm going to strive to have five people. So that was even from her side. She's trying to say, oh my gosh, you know what? Instead of getting four people at 5,000 a piece, that's 20,000 a month, revenue, I can get 25,000. She says, no, 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 no. We'll have memory care senior come in. They will pay 8,000 for the room. So now from five to eight for one or two rooms. So our goal now is to have 10 seniors, maybe seven, assisted living and three memory care.
This way, you're offsetting some of the expenses. You're leveraging
Yes,
the rooms
yes,
because you have a limited amount
yes,
of rooms in that
yes,
market. I love that you're going back and setting the standards and moving the bar. It's like, okay, we can bring on this staff once we brought on this income. So it's
yes,
income based versus let's just put all the staff we need and bleed for
yes,
3 months or 4 months until we get the whole thing built
exactly.
up.
Exactly. Then I showed her second year. I said, no, we are at 10. We were going to keep them consistent with marketing and everything. Some people, seniors, they die or they have to go to a hospital and things like that. So we need a good, solid system of keeping people in the pipeline and building the brand and name and uniqueness of our RAL in a nice location in Scottsdale area and everything, so that we could really benefit the seniors. The overarching goal is to give them the best of the best experience so that the word gets out. Hey, desert blooms homes are the best homes.
And
And
you're really looking at this as an operator of senior assisted livings, larger buildings, saying, you know what,
totally.
let's keep the marketing going. Let's make sure we have
Yes,
a waiting list inside the building.
yes,
This is
yes,
not how small operators think. Small operators are like, oh, we filled it once, and then vacancies show up. They happen to them. Like, oh, this happened, this happened. You're preparing for the inevitable vacancy to occur
totally,
and saying, let's just make
totally.
sure the marketing never gets shut off. Like any business should never shut off the marketing.
Never shut off the marketing, never ever, because as we get into lull, if we are not taking care of the funnel, we talk about that right on the top. We got to have a good name so that when this doctors and hospitals and everybody in Scottsdale, all that, they say, hey, I have to place a senior, they think about Desert Blooms Homes. So Desert Blooms Homes is our logo, and I got Desert Blooms AZ Arizona.co, the website, and I'm gonna do that in Washington, in Las Vegas. So on the West Coast is my goal, and California also. So I'll be, I'm young. I'm only 27 or 72, one of the two, right? I'm only
72 years
27.
young, still growing, still. I love that you buy the domains. So this is something people don't know, but you and I have gone and looked at your domains together. You are in charge of the domains. You're in charge of the making sure they
Yes,
redirect and making sure they're all set up. So uh,
everything, everything. Yeah, Maz.
super
Maz
cool.
does a great job. Maz is a great friend of mine, and from Pakistan, and he's such a great person. He looks after all my websites, all my word processes, blogs, everything. He's built so many of the websites for my students and my friends, and I recommend him thoroughly, and he's very reasonable. That's the good part I like. I mean, people charge 5,000. He was able to build that website for 350 for
Look at
my manager in Arizona. I said, it's my gift to you. So I'm going to build your website for you in RAL. And she was so excited, so excited. It's a beautiful website. Now he's going to duplicate that for us because I wanted him to have it run because websites are mostly cloned, as you know. You find the different good ones, and then you ask your webmaster to clone them, and then you put your touch to it and everything like that, right?
Russell
So
Brunson calls
that's
it
what it
funnel
is.
hacking. You go, you see a website that's
That's
already doing well, you
yeah.
modify around it, but
Hmm.
you don't change any
Hmm.
of the important stuff, and you funnel hack the site
Totally.
until your traffic is working at the same level.
Totally.
So we're at
Totally.
the top of the podcast here. Vinny, before we
Yes.
jump off, I know the summit's coming up. You're going to be talking about senior assisted living, about
Yes.
residential assisted living, the silver tsunami, why
Yes.
certain industries are working, why other industries aren't working, and where the $39.9 trillion is right now in the market that's available for investors to
Hmm.
invest.
Hmm.
When you fly out here, hopefully you fly. Hopefully it's you're in
Yes.
the ability to do it. We know that's if not, we'll get a video from
Yes. Yep.
but
Yep. Yep.
hopefully be in person with us. One of the questions that I know we're going to get a lot of people asking is, Vinny, why are you still doing it? It's 72 years young. Why are you still investing? Why are you still moving money around? Why are you still, uh,
Hold on.
why still?
I'm 72, brother. 92. God give me energy and strength and everything. And with this technology now, you can buy ankles, you can buy knees, you can buy anything, right? Elbows. So hopefully, if I really stay my mind right, that's why we do this abundance mindset show. Because if you're able to really, really keep your mind and your energy up, and there are lull days, there are down days too. But the big thing is be creative, be always involved in certain pursuit. It could be, working like me. I just look forward to every morning to add value to everybody around me. And especially now with silver tsunami going through USA, 11,200 people turning 65 every night. There is 4,000 people turning 85 every night. There is a $1.3 million shortage of beds in assisted living. It just motivates me to really build these communities all over and teach people so that they could build them in their backyards and everything. So I would say it's like I want to be worthwhile person. I want to be contributing to the society and to really keep my mind right, get me out of trouble. I'm telling you, I mean, people who are really, really active, once they don't become active, they really wither away, and they just try to do wrong things. And I've been married 44 years, and I know I'll be a big burden, and I'm doing this and that, and Kanchan may not like. I shop a lot, I want to travel, all that stuff. Anyway, but the thing is, just be active. Just be active, because if we are active, we feel good. If you're growing, volunteer, do something, have some schedule every day. Because if you don't have a schedule, and watch and play and everything, do everything that you want to do in life.
It's fantastic. That is the secret to living longer. I watched the videos on the blue zones, and they said being involved in community, volunteering, eating right, exercising daily, which we know you do.
Yes.
That's how people live to be over
Yes.
100 years old. So you've seen
Yes.
it here. Vinny Chopra growing and still expanding and pouring into the community and helping others. This is something we do every single Thursday. It's Abundance Thursdays. We do it 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're jumping off, but cheers to your success. We have a choice. Always work with the best. If you haven't gotten your tickets to the summit, go to alchemiststation.com,
Please
register.
go
If
ahead.
you want to learn more about Vinny Chopra, go to vinnychopra.com, figure out what he's doing, go look at some of his past deals, and possibly invest with one of his future deals if he ever opens a fund again. Cheers to your success. We have a choice. Always work with the best. We'll see you next week, Vinny.
See you next week, brother. See you next week. Amazing. Amazing, man. Oh my gosh.